Oh, goodness. Hi, everybody. How you doing? This is Tracing Roots, Telling Tales Tuesdays, Genealogy with Donna, episode 22. Now, Facebook is not allowing any more videos to be stored on their platform after 30 days. So I have transferred, I had 20. Oh, I believe this is 21. I'm sorry. I had 20 episodes I had saved in my Facebook videos. Unfortunately, when I went to transfer them to my YouTube channel, I lost all but 4 of them. So the 4 of them are over there. I've got to get the link for you, put it down here in the comments, and then you can go back and look at them. I am so saddened that I don't have all that I have done, but that means that you're not hearing repetition, or you can't revisit the repetition, and I can start again and repeat myself, which happens all the time in genealogy. Today I'm going to talk about the World War II and some things that affected the everyday citizen. I mean, just the everyday guy. Did you know that there were ration stamps? That there were actually war books that included stamps with drawings of airplanes, guns, tanks, aircraft, ears of wheat and fruit, which were used to purchase rationed items. They were rationed automobiles, tires, gasoline, fuel oil, coal, firewood, nylon, silk, and shoes. One of the reasons that we had shorter skirts is because material, fabric, was rationed. And that, that made for the seamstresses couldn't have the dresses quite as long. Hi, Shirley. How you doing? There were blue ration points and there were red ration points, and this is according to the National Museum of the Pacific War. These points were used in addition to money to purchase rationed goods. The red points might be used for fish, dairy, and meat products, while the blues were used for processed food. So here's how it went, and this is when you hear about your grandparents or your great-grandparents, if they're around, that told you stories about saving bacon grease, or there were sugar rations, so you couldn't make all the cakes you wanted. There were flour rations, and it was introduced in 1942, May of 1942, right after we entered the World War II. The goal was that everybody got a fair share of the scarce goods, which were sugar, meat, coffee, gasoline, and rubber. Supplies were needed overseas, and rationing kept things orderly at home. Otherwise, the prices would have skyrocketed and hoarding would have run wild. Remember during COVID and the toilet paper? Toilet paper? I know that at Costco, you were only allowed to buy one of the toilet papers. When we went to one of the discount stores, and I can't remember which one, I'm sorry, because we were senior citizens, we were allowed to have 2 packages, which I thought was asinine. I said, look, we don't poop or pee any more than anybody else. I don't know why senior citizens get a whoop-de-doo. We took our one and said, everybody should have one. Senior citizens shouldn't get a big deal. I still don't understand the rationing behind that. If somebody can figure that one out, let me know. Everybody got a ration book. Babies, great-grandmas. Sometimes more than one over time. You had to register with your local ration board, show ID, and even report the household appliances. And if you were a kid back there, you would have loved the colored stamps. I've never seen one, but I have heard about them. My mom talked about it. And there were 4 main books issued between 1942 and 45. They were, book 1 started with sugar. By book 4, they had added point systems and colored stamps for food groups like meats, fats, and processed food. And stamps were used with money, not instead of it. Ration stamps were not for free, but they give you permission to buy a limited amount. So let's say you wanted a pound of butter. It might cost 20 cents and a red stamp. Without the stamp, if you had cash, even if you had cash, there would be no butter for you. And there was a black market, there was stamp swapping, and even people became coupon hoarders before it was trendy. Now, Mike's family is very large. The Littles are very large. So Mammy, who was his grandmother, was the baker and the cook. So they would give her the coupons so that she could, for the family meals, she could make for everyone, and then everyone could partake, which is great. You know, my mother talked about rationing and the fact that when they had the stamps and the food, my great-grandmother Bertha would be included along with my mother, my mother, my uncle, my grandmother, my grandfather, Bertha, because I believe she lived next door. And so that's 5 people. If you ever find an old ration book in a family trunk or tucked inside a drawer, know that you're holding a piece of history. It's a quiet symbol of sacrifice, unity, and resilience. Do you have a family story about wartime rationing? Let me know. My mom talked about tomato sandwiches and how bread, if you could get it, with mayonnaise, and that was not Kraft, that was the Hellman's Best Foods here on the West Coast, and garden tomato. You know, there were a lot of victory gardens back then. Everybody grew their own vegetables, and that had become a whoop-de-doo thing. Graham crackers and milk was a specific treat, and I understand saltines and milk were also a treat during the war. You made what you could, and you made the sacrifices you need to make. Hi, hi everybody for joining me. I thank you very much for joining me. Anyway, talking a little bit about the war ration and World War II and what was sacrificed and how people lived their lives. You know, it seemed like a long time. We thought COVID was a long time. This was even longer. This was 3 years. And it was not a fun time for anybody. The only time my grandmother ever wore pants or trousers was when she went and worked in the aerospace industry, the factory line, to help put together planes in Long Beach. And so even she worked. She had not worked except for then. So everybody made the sacrifices that were needed. But I just thought that was when I ran across that, I just thought that was a good lesson for us all to remember. You know, how our parents lived, our grandparents lived, and in some cases for you youngsters, how the great-grandparents had lived. Anyway, I know I'm early here, but I have lots to do today. I'm going to get a haircut. My goodness sakes, this is just, bushel basket. And then we're going up to Big Bear. It is not sunshiny here at the beach, though yesterday was a gorgeous day. And we're interested in getting up into the sunshine and watching the birds feed out of the feeders. So you guys take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Please be safe. Happy Independence Day on Friday. It's my wedding anniversary, 22 years, so we're excited about that. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Take care. Bye-bye.